Dear soul, it's your guardian angel, and I'm so glad you're here right now. Finding this message wasn't an accident. You were guided here because there's something really important I need to share with you. Please stick around, okay? Don't leave just yet. What I'm about to tell you could really change things for you. But you need to listen all the way through, because if you miss part of it, you might miss the very thing your heart has been longing to hear for such a long time. I've come from the heavens today because the person you have that deep soul connection with, your soulmate, is holding on to a secret. It's a beautiful, powerful truth they're keeping quiet about. And I can feel it in your heart. You've sensed this too, haven't you? That feeling of distance, the quietness, maybe some confusion. But what if I told you this silence isn't what you think? What if hidden behind it, there's a love that's still incredibly alive? Yes, your soulmate is loving you, even in silence. And that's exactly why you're listening right now. Because there are things about this love you don't know yet, truths the universe really wants you to finally understand. There's so much more for you to find out. Each part of this message has a little key to understanding what your own soul has been quietly asking for. So stay with me. Keep your heart open. And if you already feel like this message is speaking to you, go ahead and write them in the comments. Let the universe see your openness. Let your faith show that you're ready to receive what's meant for you. Because this isn't just words. It's like an answer sent from above. And I promise as we go deeper, you'll start to understand why everything had happened just the way it did. But before we uncover the hidden reason for the silence, you need to hear what's really been going on inside the person who loves you more than you might realize. Let's begin. Dear soul, your guardian angel is still right here with you, closer than ever. I see those quiet times you've been through, the silent questions that pop into your head when nobody's around. And today, I want you to understand something really special. Your soulmate, the one your heart whispers about late at night, has never stopped feeling for you. Even when they seemed far away, even when the silence felt like a huge wall, feelings were growing quietly behind it. The feeling isn't gone. It's just unspoken, waiting for the right time to show itself. But there's something else I need to tell you, something hidden in that silence that only we angels could see. You might have thought their distance meant they weren't interested, or their quietness meant they were gone. But that's not true. Your soulmate has been carrying something precious inside, something fragile and beautiful. They are afraid, not afraid of loving you, but afraid of what loving you might bring. They worry about change, about loss, about being rejected. So they chose silence, hoping it would keep their feelings safe instead of risking breaking everything with words. Their silence isn't empty. It's not them avoiding you or being cold. It's actually heavy with all the emotions they haven't been able to say out loud. Behind that quiet are thoughts that repeat your name, dreams that always lead back to you, and moments built around memories of you being there. They don't show it to anyone, but inside their heart, you are there. Always felt, always loved. Every time they see something that reminds them of you, they pause. Every time someone says your name, their heart skips a beat. And still, they say nothing. Not because they want to forget you, but because they can't. Because every time they try to let go, the universe gently pulls their heart back towards yours. And every time they want to speak up, fear jumps up like a wall between what they feel and what they worry might happen. You see, their silence is full of questions like, what if I speak and they don't feel the same anymore? What if I mess up the little connection we still have? What if I'm too late? These questions keep them stuck inside their own heart. But that heart, dear soul, that heart still beats for you. There are times they picked up their phone, typed your name, and then deleted it before sending. Nights they stared at your picture or remembered your smile, wishing they just had the courage to say what was burning inside. Days they hoped you would reach out first. Not because they wanted you to carry the weight, but because they needed a sign that it was safe to come closer. This is what their silence holds. It's not empty space. It's like a quiet language, one the heart understands even when lips don't move. And if you listen really closely, not with your ears but with your soul, you'll hear it. It's in the timing of your dreams, in those random thoughts of them that pop up out of nowhere, in the way your heart sometimes aches for no clear reason. That's their soul reaching out to yours. Even right now, as I whisper this truth to you, Their energy is pulling closer. They don't know I'm here with you, or that the heavens are speaking for them. But their heart, at this very moment, is beating in sync with yours. They feel your soul. They think of you, and they still love you. Please don't think silence means absence. Don't think stillness means it's over. Sometimes the deepest connections are the ones that don't need words to keep going. They live in the quiet spaces, in the breath held right before saying something important, in the quickening heartbeat at just the thought of you. And I want to tell you something else, something even deeper. This silence you've been feeling, it's also been your own soul getting ready, preparing for what's coming, preparing for the truth to come out. Because when love is real, no amount of silence can keep it hidden forever. And when the time is right, nothing can stop it from showing itself. But there's more, so much more. Because your soulmate has been getting signs too. The dreams, the memories, the meaningful coincidences, they aren't random. They're signals from the universe, gently guiding both of you back together, step by step, moment by moment. You felt it, and so have they. Even if you've been apart, even if time or distance or fear got in the way, this connection was never truly broken. It's just been waiting for courage, for clarity, for the perfect divine timing. And now, beloved soul, that time is closer than you think. But you need to understand one more thing before we move on. The silence you've lived through had a purpose. It made space in your heart for wisdom, for trust, for growing spiritually. It sharpened your intuition. It taught you how to feel things without seeing them. And it prepared you to really hear this message with the understanding it needs. I'm telling you all this not to make you wait longer, but to help you see the beauty in what's already started. The story of your soulmates' love isn't ending. It's unfolding, slowly, quietly, tenderly. And very soon, silence won't be enough anymore. Very soon, love will need a voice. So listen closely, because the next part of this message will reveal something even more powerful. The inner struggle your soulmate is facing, the fight between love and fear. And when you hear it, you'll finally understand why they haven't spoken and just how deeply they truly care. Stay with me. We're just getting started. And before we continue with this very special message, I invite you to support this space of connection. Become a member of the channel. And if you feel this message is touching your heart, don't forget to click on thanks below the video. This helps us keep bringing messages full of love and hope like this one. Now, let's get back to what really matters. Dear soul, I now want to take you into a deeper space where you can feel not just the silence, but the struggle happening inside your soulmate. This isn't just quietness. It's a silence built from doubt, from uncertainty, from old hurts that never quite healed. Your soulmate loves you deeply, but inside their soul, there's a battle going on. A battle between wanting to speak and being terrified of losing you. Every day they wake up with you on their mind, but they tell themselves to stay quiet. They worry that if they speak up, the dream will break, that maybe you've moved on, that maybe the connection they feel so strongly isn't shared. And so, they suffer silently. They replay moments in their head, relive memories, hoping things will become clear. They try to convince themselves that staying away is somehow loving, that not bothering you is better than risking rejection. But this love, dear soul, isn't just sitting there. It's alive. It's restless. It aches to be expressed. And no matter how hard they try to push it down, it always finds its way back to thinking about you. In the quiet moments, in the stillness of their nights, they feel it rising again, this undeniable pull to be near you. They remember your voice, the way you used to calm their chaos just by being there. And even though they hold back, even though they build walls around their heart, it's not because they don't care. It's because they care too much. They worry that one wrong word could push you away forever. They worry their timing is off, that showing up again would confuse you, or worse, cause you pain. This is their battle. One part of their soul desperately wants to reach out and say everything, to tell you the truth. I still love you. I never stop. But another part shakes with fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear that they waited too long. Fear that you might look at them and say, it's too late now. And so, they stay quiet. Not because they want to, but because they don't know how to find the strength to risk everything. They tell themselves little stories to get through the silence. They pretend they don't care. They keep busy with work, routines, or even being around other people. But when they're alone, when they really look inside, the truth is always the same. They still love you. They still see your face in the dreams they don't tell anyone about. They still wonder how you are, what you're feeling, if you ever think of them the way they think of you. But what holds them back isn't a lack of feeling. It's the overwhelming amount of feeling. This love feels too big, too real, too precious for them to risk losing it all in a moment of vulnerability. They want to be sure. They want to feel safe. And most of all, they want to be met with the same kind of love they feel inside. The angels have been whispering to their heart, guiding them, helping to heal their fears bit by bit, getting them ready for the day they stop running from what they feel. And you, dear soul, you have been part of that healing. Your energy, your prayers, your thoughts, they've reached your soulmate in ways you don't even realize. When you think of them, they feel it. When you speak their name softly in your heart, something stirs inside them. That's not just your imagination. That's the divine connection, the special bond between two souls that were never meant to be completely apart. They're closer to speaking now than ever before, closer to breaking the silence. But even now, there are moments when fear pulls them back. And in those moments, all they want is a sign, a little signal that it's safe, that you're open, that maybe you've been waiting too. They aren't asking for guarantees or perfection, but they need hope and they need courage. And that's what the heavens are giving them now. That's why this message is reaching you today, because you are part of their awakening. They are remembering who you are to them, remembering how it felt just to look at you and see a future. And as much as fear still tries to hold on, love is rising, getting stronger. But they can't do it alone. Love might be powerful, but fear can be paralyzing. That's why you're being called to understand what's really going on inside them, to see past the silence, to feel what words haven't said yet. And when the time comes, and it will, you'll remember this message. You'll remember that their silence was never about not caring. It was a fragile attempt to protect something they cherished more than anything, you. So don't let doubt creep into the spaces where trust should be. Don't let impatience wear away the connection that still pulses between you. This battle inside them is real, but the love is stronger. The next step, the next truth is coming. And when it arrives, you'll see everything they never said reflected in the way they look at you. Stay with me, beloved soul, because in the next part of this message, you'll discover the signs they've actually already been giving you. Signs you might have missed, but that were always meant for your heart to catch. And once you see them, you'll realize they've been speaking to you all along, just not with words. We're getting closer now, closer to the moment when everything will start to make sense. Dear soul, now that you understand the inner struggle your soulmate is dealing with, it's time to show you what's been hidden right in front of you. They might not be using words, but their soul has been reaching out to you in ways that are subtle, yet very meaningful. Have you noticed how often you think of them, seemingly out of the blue? Or how sometimes, just as you're drifting off to sleep, their face pops into your mind? These aren't just random thoughts. These are the quiet signals they are sending, little bursts of energy sent from their heart straight to yours. Maybe they liked something you posted online recently. Or perhaps they showed up in your dreams. Or maybe you heard a song that reminds you of them right when you needed a little boost. Every single one of those moments has meaning. Every one of those signs is like a whisper from their soul to yours, trying to say, I'm still here. I still feel this connection. I still feel you. You might think they've been totally absent, but look a little closer. Think about how many times your heart has felt a sudden warmth or a little pulse of energy, as if someone was thinking about you kindly. That was them. That moment you glanced at your phone, just expecting a message. It was likely because in that very instant they were thinking strongly about you. Their energy is still connected to yours, and in moments of deep feeling, it reaches you even when they say nothing. They watch you from distance, not because they're cold, but out of a quiet longing. They wonder about you. They check on you silently online or through mutual friends, hoping to see you smiling, living your life, being happy. They might not reach out directly, but they're watching with a heart full of hope and eyes full of love they don't quite know how to show yet. Some of the signs are physical, others are more spiritual. You might notice repeating numbers like 1111, 222, or 333. These aren't just coincidences. The universe often speaks in symbols, and these numbers can be little reminders that you are both being gently guided back towards each other. You might have recurring dreams where you're talking, walking together, or even making up after a disagreement. That's not just your mind playing tricks. Those could be like visits from their higher self to yours, spiritual meetings that happen beyond time and space. Your physical bodies might be apart, but your souls have never stopped connecting in the unseen realms. And in those sacred meetings, feelings are shared, truths are felt, and love is exchanged. There's more. Think about the times you were going through something tough, and somehow the memory of them gave you strength. Or those moments you felt like giving up, but then something reminded you of them, and suddenly a little spark of hope returned to your heart. That was them too. That was their silent prayer for you, their unspoken wish to lift you up, even from far away. And yes, sometimes the signs feel confusing, like emotional waves that crash over you and then disappear, leaving you unsure what's real. But let me tell you, dear soul, what's real is the connection. What's real is the way your soul responds every single time theirs reaches out. They might not realize you've noticed these signs. They might not even fully understand that they're sending them. But true love doesn't always wait for words. It finds its way through energy, through feelings, through the invisible connections between hearts. There are moments when they type out messages to you and then delete them. Times they want to call, but stop themselves. Times they start to say something about you to someone else, then trail off halfway through. These are the signs behind the signs, the things that never quite make it out into the open, but live constantly in their mind. You've probably felt shifts in your own energy too. There might be days when you feel flooded with emotions you can't quite place. Days when your heart feels both full and heavy at the same time. These are often the echoes of their feelings, traveling along the spiritual cord that still connects you. It's alive, it's active, and it's actually getting stronger. Even the world around you helps deliver these signs. A stranger might mention a name that jogs a memory. A scene in a movie might perfectly mirror something from your story. A sudden gust of wind might feel strangely like a gentle touch. All of this is part of the bigger plan, designed to wake you up, remind you, and prepare you. And now that your heart is remembering, now that you're starting to see with your spiritual eyes, you'll begin to notice these signs more clearly. You'll know when they are thinking of you. You'll feel it. And when you do, please don't doubt it. Don't brush it off. Acknowledge it. Send love back, silently or in a quiet prayer, and trust that it reaches them. Because they're waiting for that feeling, even if they don't consciously know it. Their soul craves your positive energy and confirmation. And when you send it, something inside them will start to shift. Courage will begin to grow where fear used to live. Hope will awaken where silence once ruled. Dear soul, the heavens have shown me that your soulmate is drawing closer. And the more you recognize these signs, the more your energy will line up with theirs. The more you listen with your heart, the more you'll be guided. We're not finished yet. There's something even more powerful you need to understand. In the next part of this message, I'll reveal what's still alive inside them, how this love hasn't faded but has actually deepened over time. And hearing that truth will awaken something truly special inside you too. Stay with me. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Dear soul, now that you've started to recognize the signs, it's time for you to hear the most wonderful truth. The love your soulmate feels for you hasn't gone away. It's still alive, still burning brightly, still present in every single beat of their heart. There are times they tried to move on, moments they tried hard to forget. But no matter how far they wandered, their soul always found its way back to the memory of you. This love didn't disappear, it just changed. It matured. It grew deeper in the quiet times. It became more sacred during the wait. Every moment of distance, every pause in talking, wasn't a sign they were forgetting you. It was actually space for their heart to truly understand just how much you mean to them. They have never stopped loving you. The feeling never died. It just became quieter, more spiritual, more grounded in a deep truth. And now, as they look inside themselves, they're starting to realize that this love isn't just some passing emotion. It's a core part of who they are. You are part of them, their past, their present, and in many quiet thoughts, their future. They still think about the way you laughed, the way you used to look at them when words weren't needed. They still feel the echo of your presence during seemingly ordinary moments. And that's the most amazing part of this love. It has become woven into the very fabric of their life. Even if they're not physically beside you, you are everywhere they go. You're in their favorite songs, in their quiet thoughts, in the way their chest rises and falls when they take a deep breath and whisper your name silently. There were nights they cried for you, dear soul. Nights when the weight of everything left unsaid felt too heavy to carry alone. They stared up at the ceiling, wondering if you felt it too, wondering if you were also lying awake thinking of them. Their heart has never stopped holding a special place just for you. That space is still sacred, untouched by time or other distractions. They might have tried to build new beginnings somewhere else. They might have walked down different paths or met other people, but nothing ever compared. Nothing reached the same depth that you once touched. Nothing felt as complete, as honest, as right. Because when two souls are truly meant to journey together, the universe doesn't let them simply forget each other. They have learned through silence what words could never teach them. That real love doesn't just vanish. It might hide for a while, it might seem to sleep, but it never truly dies. And now, they're waking up to that knowledge more and more each day. The love is coming back to the surface. It's growing stronger again, getting ready to be expressed, this time with more clarity and depth. You might not see it on the outside yet, but inside them, something powerful is stirring, a longing, a truth, a recognition that you aren't just someone who passed through their life. You were a divine meeting, a mirror for their soul, a gift that simply cannot be replaced. They have started to dream again, not just of you, but of the future that once felt too uncertain to even imagine. They're seeing little glimpses of peace, of coming back together, of quiet moments shared honestly. And these dreams aren't just wishful thinking. They're messages from their higher self, calling them back home to what their heart has always known was true. Even if they still haven't spoken, even if they still hesitate, the love is there. It's alive in the pauses between their words when they talk to others. It's alive in the way they hold back. Not because they don't care, but because they care so intensely they're afraid of getting it wrong. You, dear soul, are loved in a way that few people ever get to experience. Deeply, spiritually, eternally. And this is what the angels really want you to remember. What is truly meant for you can never be permanently lost. Real love always finds its way back. There might be times you doubt, moments you feel like giving up. But in those moments, listen to that soft voice inside you, the one that remembers the connection. That voice isn't just yours, it's theirs too. It's the shared thread between your hearts, still vibrating with the energy of love that never really left. And as this love inside them grows, so does the courage to express it. Soon, their soul won't be able to keep it contained anymore. Soon, it will overflow into actions, into words, into showing up. The love is calling them forward. The love is waking up the parts of them that were once too scared to feel so deeply. But before that moment arrives, you need to know one more thing. You have always been the inspiration behind their healing. Your energy, your quiet forgiveness, your strength, it has reached them. It has helped them grow. And now, they are becoming someone who is truly ready to love you the way you deserve to be loved. This isn't the end of your story together. It's the sacred pause right before a brand new chapter begins. A chapter where love is no longer hidden, where it speaks, where it breathes, where it truly lives. Stay close to your heart now. Listen to the quiet truths bubbling up inside you. Because what's coming next is something you've waited a long, long time to hear. In the next part of this message, I will reveal the deepest fear that still holds them back, and why understanding it will unlock the doorway to the connection you both still carry deep inside. Remain with me, beloved soul. The next revelation will open your heart in ways you might not expect and help prepare you for everything that is about to be reborn. Dear soul, now that your heart has felt the truth of how alive this love still is, I need to reveal the deepest fear your soulmate carries. It's not really the fear of love itself, or even the fear of opening up completely. It's the fear of losing you. The fear that by stepping closer, they might somehow break the fragile connection that still remains between you. This fear doesn't come from weakness. It comes from how much they genuinely care. The more they love, the more vulnerable they feel. The more they want to come close, the more they worry they'll somehow be pushed away. They are terrified that if they finally pour out their heart and find out you no longer feel the same way, it will break them in a way they're not sure they could recover from. That fear keeps them stuck, frozen between hoping and holding back, between taking action and staying silent. Every single day, they think about speaking up, about telling you everything. But then the fear whispers in their ear. What if I'm too late? What if they moved on? What if I ruin the only connection we have left? This inner doubt is incredibly powerful. It shakes their confidence. It makes them question if they're good enough, if the timing is right, if they can even express everything they feel without causing more hurt. They hold themselves back, not because they don't feel enough, but because they feel too much. You see, dear soul, when someone loves as deeply as your soulmate does, being vulnerable feels like standing right on the edge of a cliff. And the fear of falling feels just as strong as the desire to take the leap. They play out conversations over and over in their mind. They mentally rehearse what they would say if they ever got the chance. They write messages and then delete them. They look for little signs that you might still be open to them. And when those signs don't appear exactly how they expect, they retreat back into silence again. But their silence is filled with longing, with unspoken prayers, with the ache of wanting to be closer but just not knowing how. Your soulmate hasn't given up, but they are tired. Tired of pretending they're fine. Tired of trying to convince themselves they're okay with the distance. Tired of living with the heavy weight of what could have been. And yet, even with this tiredness, they continue to love. That's what makes this love so incredibly pure. It has lasted. Even in silence, it has survived. Even through fear. They want you to know them, not just who they were the last time you really connected, but who they've become since then. They've changed. They've grown. They've faced some hard truths about themselves that they used to be too afraid to look at. And now, they wonder if you would still accept them, still recognize them, still love them just as they are now. There's a part of them, deep down, that believes you would. That believes you still carry that same light in your heart. But then the fear comes back. The fear that time has changed everything. That maybe your path has moved too far away from theirs. That maybe the window of opportunity is closed. And so, they stay quiet. They hope. They pray. They send love across the distance in unseen ways. But they don't act. Not yet. Because they are still waiting for something. A sign, a shift in energy, a divine reassurance that it's finally safe to step forward. This fear isn't just about being rejected. It's about loss. The loss of possibility. The loss of a future they once dreamed of having with you. The loss of the one connection in their life that ever felt truly, deeply right, truly divine. They would almost rather hold on to the hope quietly, even if it hurts, than risk having that hope completely shattered by hearing a no. This is why they hesitate. Not because they doubt the love, but because they believe in it so much that they can't bear the thought of seeing it end for good. Your soulmate doesn't want to bring chaos into your life. They don't want to reopen old wounds. They only want to come back if it brings healing, if it brings truth, if it brings peace. But they're afraid that their presence might complicate your world, or that their timing might still be off. This fear, dear soul, isn't meant to be judged. It's meant to be understood. Because once you understand it, you'll see them not as someone who abandoned the connection, but as someone who has been holding onto it with trembling hands, just not knowing how to find their way back. They want you to know that they never stopped caring. that you were never forgotten, that no matter what happened between you, you were always there, tucked away in the corners of their heart, in the background of every big decision they made, in the silence that followed every moment of doubt. Their fear of losing you is so strong that it has kept them from reaching out. But that fear is now being challenged by something even greater. The growing realization that not expressing what they feel might be the very thing that causes them to lose you forever. And that realization is starting to change everything. Slowly, the fear is beginning to lessen. Slowly, courage is being born. Because love, real love, will always find a way to rise above fear. It might take time. It might take more healing, but it will rise. You have a choice now, dear soul. You can choose to keep listening, to keep trusting, to keep preparing your heart for what is coming. Because in the next part of this message, I will reveal the path forward, the divine guidance that can help this love finally step out into the light and take its true form. Stay with me. We are closer than ever to the moment where the silence breaks and the truth speaks. Dear soul, now that you understand the depth of your soulmate's silence, the strength of their love, and the fear that holds them back, it's time to talk about what the heavens want you to do. You're not powerless in this connection at all. In fact, you hold a very special key, one that can help unlock the door they're so afraid to open themselves. The angels are asking you to listen very closely now, because every action you take, every thought you have from this point on, carries divine weight. Your energy, your choices, how open you are, they all send quiet messages to your soulmate. Messages that can either soothe their fear or accidentally make their doubt feel stronger. This isn't meant to put pressure on you, but to gently remind you of your own inner power. You're being called not to chase them, but to align yourself with love. Not to force anything, but to simply radiate peace and trust. You're being asked to embody love in its purest form, to become that safe space their heart is desperately searching for. The angels are guiding you to rise in love, not fall into painful longing. This means choosing to stay grounded in trust, even when you can't see the final outcome yet. It means sending out energy of peace instead of desperation. It means understanding that you are not just passively waiting, you are actively preparing. You are becoming the energetic match for the beautiful love you are meant to receive. Your soulmate isn't the only one who's been evolving. You are too. Everything you've experienced, every tear, every ache, every unanswered question has been shaping you into the version of yourself who can truly hold and nurture this love when it finally arrives in its full expression. So, what can you do right now, beloved soul? First, you can choose to believe. Truly, deeply believe that this connection is real, that it's not just a fantasy or something you imagine, but a sacred bond that has been divinely guided. When you truly believe in it, you give it space to grow. You give your soulmate the spiritual permission they might subconsciously need to step forward. Belief acts like a bridge between two hearts, even when they are physically far apart. Second, you need to release the need to control how or when things happen. You can't decide exactly when or how your soulmate will speak up, but you can decide how you will live your life while you trust the process. You can choose joy today. You can choose creativity. You can choose self-love and self-care. Making these positive choices raises your own energy, and that makes it energetically easier for your soulmate to find their way back to you. The angels want you to know that healing this connection doesn't just come from future conversations. It comes from energy, from vibration, from alignment right now. Your peace becomes their peace. Your courage becomes an unspoken invitation to them. Your surrender to the divine timing creates the soft landing their heart needs to feel safe. Please don't underestimate what happens in the unseen world. Every time you whisper their name with love, they feel it on some level. Every time you light a candle and send a quiet prayer for their well-being and courage, their soul receives it. Every time you choose love over your own fear about the situation, it ripples across the distance and touches them in ways they might not even consciously understand. And there's something even more important than belief or surrender. You must open your heart fully. not just to them eventually, but to yourself right now. Because your heart is where the reunion truly begins. You cannot fully receive the love you are asking for if you are still hiding parts of yourself away in shame or fear. You must forgive. Forgive yourself for any moments of doubt you've had. Forgive them for the silence that may have hurt. Forgive the story for not unfolding exactly the way you thought it should. And in that forgiveness, you create space for something new, something sacred, something destined to be. The angels are saying your soulmate needs your light, not your rescue attempts, not your chasing, just your steady, loving light. Be who you truly are. Be love in action in your own life. Be truth in your own heart. Be present in your own moments. And then trust. Trust that what is truly yours will not pass you by. Trust that any delays serve a divine purpose. Trust that everything is being perfectly orchestrated behind the scenes, beyond what your physical eyes can see right now. You're not behind schedule. You have not been forgotten. You are in perfect timing with the rhythm of the universe. Your soulmate is waking up slowly, beautifully, tenderly. And as they do, your role is to remain rooted in your own well-being, to hold your center, to speak gently and lovingly with your own soul. The angels are surrounding you with peace right now. Can you feel it? That gentle warmth in your chest, that sense of stillness in your breath? That is them whispering that you're not alone in this. And now, there's one final step. You must say yes. Not necessarily yes to them right this second, or yes to the past exactly as it was, but yes to the future. Say yes to love. Say yes to miracles. Say yes to divine timing. Say yes to healing for both of you. When you say yes in your heart, you activate the next chapter. When you say yes, you invite the seemingly impossible to become real. Say it now, silently or aloud. I say yes. Let the universe hear your readiness. Let your soulmate feel the shift in your energy. Let your own soul expand into possibility. You're not just waiting anymore. You are rising. You are remembering who you truly are. You're the answer they've been afraid to ask for. And now, everything is aligning. Everything is moving. Everything is shifting. In the next and final part of this message, I will reveal the divine truth that ties all of this together. The truth that this love has always been yours, and what will happen when the silence finally breaks. Stay with me, beloved soul. We are almost there, and what comes next will change everything. Dear soul, we've reached the final part of this sacred message. And now, the truth needs to be spoken clearly, without any fear or hesitation. This love is still yours. Yes, even after all the silence. Even after the time that has passed. Even after all the uncertainty and confusion, this love still belongs to your heart. Your soulmate never stopped loving you. They simply didn't know how to hold onto that love in their hands without trembling. But that trembling doesn't mean weakness. It means they felt something so incredibly real, so powerful, that it overwhelmed everything they thought they knew about love and life. And now, their soul is waking up, slowly but surely. The silence they've carried for so long is starting to crack open. And what lies underneath it is pure, divine, eternal love for you. This love is still yours because it was never just borrowed. It was given freely. It was created between two souls who were always destined to find each other again in this lifetime. That kind of deep connection doesn't just vanish with time. It doesn't disappear just because words go unspoken. It waits. It watches. It believes. Your soulmate has held this love like a hidden, sacred treasure, protected, guarded behind walls built of fear and uncertainty. But now, those walls are beginning to crumble. Not because the fear is completely gone, but because the love has simply grown too strong to be contained any longer. The silence, which might have once felt like a painful ending, was really just a season, a sacred pause in a divine story that is still unfolding. And you, dear soul, have never been forgotten during this time. You have never been truly alone on this journey. Even in the moments when you felt the most distant from them, your energy was reaching them. Your quiet prayers for them were wrapping around their soul like a warm blanket on the coldest night. Your name lived silently in their thoughts, even when their lips never spoke it aloud. This love is still yours because it is written into the very fabric of your destiny. It's not a mistake you need to get over. It's not just a lesson you had to learn. It's not merely a passing chapter in your life story. It is a promise, a sacred promise made between your souls long before this lifetime even began, carried through lifetimes across space and time, right up until this very moment. That's why your soul feels it so deeply. That's why no one else ever quite matched the unique feeling they gave you. The heavens want you to understand that your soulmate's return, where they're reaching out, might not come wrapped up in a perfect package. They might not have all the perfect words rehearsed. They might still carry some of their old fears with them. But what they bring will be real. What they offer will be true. And when they do come forward, they will come with a heart that has finally found the courage to say what it has known deep down all along. I still love you. I never stop. So be ready, dear soul, not with rigid expectations, but with gentle openness. Be ready to receive, not necessarily a fairy tale, but a truth that might feel vulnerable, a truth that might seem a bit raw or imperfect, but a truth that will be sacred between you. And in that truth, you'll find your answer. You'll feel it in the way they look at you again, in the way their presence brings a sense of peace to those places inside you where you once felt abandoned or confused. And if they still need a little time, if the words don't tumble out perfectly right away, hold the space for them. Be the calm harbor in the storm of their inner world. Because a love like this is rare, and rare things deserve patience. Rare things deserve grace. This isn't just a simple love story. This is a spiritual journey, a soul contract being fulfilled, a divine reconnection that has been blessed by the very hands of the universe. And what comes next is not something you need to chase after or force. It will come to you in perfect divine timing, in perfect divine order. So breathe now. Place your hand over your heart and whisper gently to your own soul, I am ready. Because you are. You've walked through the fire of longing. You've faced the winds of doubt. You've stood strong in the silence and still, somehow, chosen to believe. And that belief, that resilience, has created miracles that are already on their way to you. Trust the path. Trust the process. Trust the love is still yours. And nothing, not time, not distance, not fear, can ever truly take it away from you. This is your moment of knowing. Let this truth settle deep into your being. You are loved. You are chosen. You are remembered. And as I return to the realms above, I leave you with this blessing. May your heart remain open and trusting. May your soul stay aligned with peace. And may the reunion that is destined for you come softly, beautifully, and in perfect peace for both of you. It is done. It is already unfolding. And soon, you will no longer need to wonder. You will see it. You will feel it. You will live it. And when it happens, remember this moment. Remember this message. Remember that the angels were with you, guiding you, loving you all along. Dear soul, if this video was meaningful to you, please leave a thanks below this video as a gesture of gratitude for this message. This helps strengthen us to keep sharing messages of connection and faith. Now, say yes. Say yes to the love that is still yours.